Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing really well. Today I'm going to be sharing with you another update for my Rolling Project 10 pan. This is a makeup focused project pan that I've been working on for all of 2023. Today's update is coming to you a little bit later than I would typically like for them to be. I am actually filming this on the 5th of November, so we're already well into November at this point, but nevertheless, the update is here, and that means that I've made a little bit more progress as well because I've had a few extra days to use these products. I've worn makeup 29 times since the last time that I updated this project pan. So yeah, a lot of potential for a lot of movement on these items. So let's hop on into the progress that I've made without any further delay. Let's just get right on into it. The first item I want to talk about is one that I'm super happy with the progress on, and I think it could be an empty by my next update. I have this Charlotte Tilbury lipstick. This is the Hot Lips 2 formula. This one is in the shade Angel Alessandra. In my last update for this project, I was incredibly close to the point where I'd have to dig out from the bullet, and I have done so. I know in my last update also I said I was going to film a short of that process, and I just didn't have the bandwidth. I didn't have the capacity to do so over these last few weeks. So I didn't do that, but I did take a picture of what it looked like when I had decanted everything. So this is now completely empty from the actual packaging, but I do have a little bit of product remaining in the depotted scenario. So I will share with you what it looked like right after I depotted it. And here is what I'm left with today. Really not much product is remaining in here at all. In fact, it's really mostly just product concentrated in this area here. The rest of this is an incredibly thin layer of product. It's really just like a coating of it. There really isn't much left at all. And that is super, super exciting to me. I think that this will be an empty for my next update of this project. I've been really enjoying wearing this on the cheeks and on the lips. That's how I have it on today. Really loving it on the cheeks. Like, this is an incredible formula and color for my personal preferences. It is so flattering and juicy and just a really pretty color for the early parts of fall as well with this peachy tone. Absolutely loving it. And yes, it will most definitely be an empty, if not very ultra super close to being an empty. So I'm super excited about this. I actually have a few products that are so close to being done or to reaching my goal on, and this next one is no exception. This is the Vesca Beauty Moonlit Dream Cream Shadow. This one is in the shade Lyra. I set myself a goal to use this 20 times in this project pan, and I am so close. Now, after 3 months of reaching for this, I've actually used it 16 times, so I just have 4 additional uses remaining in the next month. I can definitely make that happen. No doubt about it. If I use it once a week, that will be plenty. If I use it a couple times a week, then I'll have it done mid-month. So I definitely will be able to be rolling this out of the project in my next update. I'm so happy I decided to focus on this for those 20 uses, because this is the kind of product that easily just gets left in my drawer, forgotten about, and then used every once in a while. But 20 uses guaranteed in a year is a really good thing for me. It's something that I'm really happy about. And I'm currently at 16 uses and I feel very fulfilled, but once I reach that 20 use goal, I'll be super happy. And that is definitely gonna happen by the next update of this project. Another absolutely guaranteed goal hit for my next update is my Colourpop Tea Garden eyeshadow. I am so close. I've actually used this 16 times since my last update of this project, which is a ton of times to wear one single eyeshadow in basically a month's time, maybe like 5 weeks. Here's what it's looking like today. As you can see, it is so close. It is so close. There's barely any product remaining in here. There's just a tiny bit at the top of the pan there. What is that gonna require? Maybe 2 more uses, 3 at most. It is getting really hard to pick up onto a brush because it's so concentrated in the corner, but there's no point in repressing it at this point. So I've been trying my best to really pick it up with a brush to get an even application every time that I've reached for it. And I kind of thought I might be able to finish it up by today's update, but not quite there. Almost there, but not quite. Today I have it all over my lid, all around my inner corner, and on my lower lash line on top of a blue. And I think it's just a beautiful way to transform this shadow. It typically looks a lot more golden green, but today it definitely looks more teal, and it's so fun. I will definitely get this used up within this next week, I think. So this will be a guaranteed empty for my next update as well. So the next product I want to talk about is the Becca bronzer that I've been focusing on for a couple of months' time. This is the Sunlit bronzer in the shade Capri Coast. And I really don't have much remaining in here, but bronzer is something that takes an awful long time to actually use up in its entirety. I'm happy to see that month after month I have been making really notable progress. I can see the difference in this, but I don't think this is something that I will be able to finish up in 2023. It will be an early 2024 empty for me, which is great. I'll be so happy to have a bronzer empty in the beginning parts of the new year. I'm just monitoring this. I'm happy overall that I decided to focus on it and I can see a big difference in it, but it won't be an empty, and that's fine. That is totally fine. It's really about making progress and ensuring that things in my collection get used and are getting closer to getting used up. The next product is in the same boat. This is the Cheekbone Beauty Mattifying Moondust powder in the shade Translucent. I think this is the only shade of this, but this one's the Translucent pressed powder. And again, I've just been kind of keeping track of where this is at month after month. I've been ensuring that this is my priority pressed powder that I reach for. I only have this one and then a tinted one. And this is the one that I purchased earlier or brought into my collection like earlier. So it's the older one in my collection. I want to make sure that it gets used sooner than the other Colourpop one that I have. But all of that aside, I have been ensuring that whenever I do feel the need to use a powder, this is what I've been reaching for. I always set my under eyes with a loose powder every single day, but I don't often use a pressed powder over the entirety of my face. I don't use any powder over the entirety of my face because I've been really leaning into a more minimal kind of base look, and I really like the look of more natural skin. But when I need a little bit of a touch up or to lock things in place, I've been reaching for this. And yeah, it is something that I want to finish up as opposed to just letting it sit in my collection unused. But I don't feel any sense of urgency to make that happen. So I'm gonna keep monitoring it, but that's kind of about it with this one. I'm just gonna keep showing you the progress and chatting about it, but yeah, I'm not in any rush to actually finish it. And I kind of feel the same way about this also. This is my Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer. This one is in the shade Light 6W. We're finally at the point in the year where I am matching this again. Earlier this year, when I rolled this into the project, I had to mix this with a cream bronzer to get the right shade, and so it created just a little bit of a barrier to entry. I wasn't reaching for this very often because it wasn't perfect for me, but now I can just kind of slap this on, and I love the way that it looks on my skin. It's just so much more user-friendly in that capacity. So I found myself actually recently reaching for this more often. Now that it's cooler out, I do feel like having something on my skin feels much more comfortable. I'm not just like sweating it off. So there's so many variables that go into this, but I have been really leaning into and enjoying this product more than ever. And I feel like I've actually made pretty substantial progress because of that. In my last update, I was up here and I haven't yet made a marking, but I think I'm at about this point in the product, like right here now, because I've been reaching for this so much more often. I don't have to mix it with anything, so I'm using more product as well for myself. And yeah, it's something that I've actually really come to enjoy as of late. I love the finish. I'm wearing it today. I just feel like my skin looks much more perfected while still looking like real skin, and that is something that I just absolutely love. So I'm gonna keep using this. I don't think it'll be gone by the end of the year because I'm not wearing base products on a day-to-day basis, but when I do feel like wearing a base product, it's this one, and I'm loving the way that it looks. Next up, let's chat about this eyeliner. This is the Melt Ultra Matte Eyeliner in the shade Cultura, which is a gorgeous Dijon mustard eyeliner. I'd set myself a goal to use this 20 times in the project pan, and I felt like that was a no-brainer for this update because last update, I'd already been at 17 uses in this product. I've used it now 3 additional times, and I was actually able to hit a little bit of a pan at the bottom of the container as well in those final 3 uses. So I'm really, really happy with how this is looking. I'm really happy with the variety of different ways that I use this throughout the project. Sometimes I wore it as an eyeliner in my waterline, sometimes on my top lashes or top lash line, I should say. And then other times I wore it as an eyeshadow base, and I thought it was a really beautiful product in all those different ways. Overall, I'm so happy with how this is looking after those 20 uses. I'm so happy that this is an item that I decided to work on and make a visual difference in. And yeah, it's just something that I'm super excited that I was able to really use in such a wide variety of ways and in such a decent amount of uses as well. It's something that I might have not used 20 times this year altogether if I didn't put it in this project. And so yeah, I'm just really happy that I was able to use it and make such a big difference in this product as well. So I will be rolling this one out, and I will be rolling something new in its place at the end of today's video. So stay tuned for that. This next product is one that I'd like to hit pan in. This is my Charlotte Tilbury Cheek to Chic Swish and Pop blusher in the shade Ecstasy. I don't know if I'll be able to hit pan on it. Quite honestly, this doesn't look that different from my last update. It is something that is incredibly slow moving because I just haven't been reaching for it that frequently, that consistently. It's something that, yes, I use it here and there, but I'm not dedicated to using this as like my standalone blush. In fact, I have really not been reaching for many powder blushes at all. I've been really loving the way that that Charlotte Tilbury lipstick looks on my cheeks and just kind of running with that and wearing that more often than not. So this is a very slow moving product. Maybe in the next month I could hit pan on it if I amp up my usage and I ensure that this is something that I reach for in tandem with cream blushes, but I've just not found myself doing that. I'm just kind of allowing it to not be the case because I'm not going to force myself to use this if I just don't feel inclined to do so. So hopefully we can amp up the number of uses and make a little bit more visual difference in the coming month. But yeah, this is a good reminder that I need to kind of pick up the pace with this one. Next up, let's chat about my Colourpop So Juicy Plumping Lip Gloss. This one is in the shade Stuntin, and I am wearing it today. I've been wearing this very often because I really am motivated to get this used up. As you can see, there really isn't much remaining in here. I haven't made a marking, but it's pretty much down to the bottom. As you can see, this product settles really well. So it is something that I know I'll be able to finish in the coming month. In part, I was able to make really great progress because part of this kind of leaked out into my fanny pack because I had it in my bag and the lid broke. The lid completely cracked. So I have some washi tape on it now to kind of hold it in place, try to keep it together a little bit, but it still is kind of leaking. There is a little bit of a sticky residue on the outside. And so not only did I lose a little bit of product, but that really created a sense of urgency to get this used up. And so I've been using this all the time. Every single day I put this on in some capacity, usually multiple times a day. But this is a like long wearing kind of lip gloss. It gets very sticky. It really locks onto the lips. So it's not something I have to like reapply every half hour or whatever. But as soon as I kind of feel it wear off my lips, I throw it back on because I just really want to get this gone. It'll definitely be an empty in the month of November, no issue about that. And I'm really looking forward to that being the case because I'm just kind of over it. And lastly, we have the sample that will never die. Okay, we have the sample that I pulled into this project wanting to challenge myself with, and it has proven to definitely be a challenge. It is my Fenty Icon lipstick sample in the shade The MVP. I rolled this into the project thinking I had been making really great momentum on my sample packs. I wanted to give myself a little bit more of a challenge and use something that, you know, was going to be a little bit more complicated, a little bit more out of my comfort zone. And I've now had this in the project for absolutely months and I still don't have this itty bitty sample done. It is very close. I think if I were to use this maybe once a week or twice a week in the coming month, I can actually get this done. And as you can see, there really isn't much remaining in here, but there still is product remaining. It's not an everyday product for me. It's not something that is a major part of my routine, but I want to change that in November. I want to get this used up. I really, really, really want to get this used up in November. And as long as I make a priority of it and I remember to reach for this, I think that's doable. This is just such a small amount of lipstick. Maybe I'm gonna try to mix it on the cheeks with the Charlotte Tilbury lipstick to create a beautiful, more kind of corally blush. I think I'm gonna try it out like that a couple of times. I don't know why I didn't do that in the month of October, but November is gonna be the month when I get this used up. And actually that is my 10th and final current focus product. And now that I'm thinking about it, as I've gone through all these products, it sounds like I am incredibly close on several things. I think there's a good chance that in the next update of this project, I could roll out 4 to 5 items. The Colourpop Tea Garden, without a doubt, will be rolled out. Vesca eyeshadow will be rolled out, no problem. The Colourpop lip gloss is a guarantee as well. And then the Charlotte Tilbury lipstick and then this Fenty sample are kind of like the 2 that I'm not certain about. But that could be half of the project rolling out. And so now I'm kind of thinking that might end up being the finale for this project pan. If I am able to roll 4 or 5 products out in my next update, I might just call it the end, because I'm not gonna roll in a handful of more products to just use for a single month. I don't have items in my collection that are that close to done, or things that I wanna prioritize, at least that I'm thinking right now off the top of my head. So we'll kind of see what the next month holds for this project, but yeah, don't be surprised if maybe the next update ends up actually being the finale. But nevertheless, I do actually have one product that I'm rolling in to replace the one item that I was able to hit my goal on, that eyeliner from Melt. So I am going to be rolling in a primer. This is a primer that I was just focusing on in my Graveyard Project pan, and I wasn't able to finish it up, but I'm so incredibly close. It is my Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Instant Retouch Primer. The packaging is completely emptied now. I went into this with a spatula and I took everything out, and I now have it just in this container right here. This is a Charlotte Tilbury powder container, and this is all that remains. So I actually think I could finish this in the month of November. I wanted to get a visual of like where I was actually at. Plus this makes it so much easier to use because I was no longer able to pump the primer out of the original packaging. So this just makes it incredibly easy to use, to reach for, and to get used up. I think this could be an empty in the month of November. I don't think this will take me very long whatsoever to get finished up. And so that could bring me up to 6 empties for my next update / possibly the finale for this project. Let me know your thoughts on that whole idea. What should we do? Should we wrap it up next update? If things go the way that I'm thinking, I don't know. But in any case, this has been pretty successful for me. This last month has been really great in terms of making really consistent progress. And I definitely do think that the next update is going to be a big one because of that. So that, my friends, is absolutely everything. Thank you so much for watching and for hanging out with me. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.